In this beginner-friendly tutorial on how to style a wig for cosplay, we're going to style this pink wig to make it look like Mira's hair from K-pop Demon Hunter. This is a lace front wig that I got off of Temu. You can find the link for that in the description of this video. And a lot of different wigs that are synthetic, they do sometimes get a little staticky, so I'm putting in some spray-in leave-in conditioner. I'm not using too much of it, I'm just using enough to 1, detangle, and 2, just to get the fibers of this hair to lay flat. I'm combing through. I'm also using one of my favorite brushes called the UnBrush. This typically is pretty gentle on the fibers of hairs. Then I'm using a steamer that I have to get all of the fibers of the hair to lay nice and flat and take some of that little wave, almost curl at the end out. You can see that it has started to flatten out here. Then for the middle, I split it. So I used a comb, moved the hairs over to create that split in the front. Did the same for the side. This is going to be for the bangs of the wig. I did make these a bit larger and a little bit longer because I didn't really want to cut them than what the actual characters are. But the more hair you have, the more you can go and style it later. But we won't be cutting really any hair off of this. Now I'm putting these both on the front with some of these little elastics, taking those after they're together, putting them both together into one singular piece. This is going to keep them out of the way and is very important for you to do when you're styling things. Then I'm just going to take a pin and pin it to the front of this headstand that I have. For the side here, I'm pulling some of the hair back. I'm making sure that the separation isn't going to make it look like there's a bald spot in the back. So the easiest way to do that is have my headstand at a bit of an angle, along with also kind of very lightly pull at some of the different hair fibers. I am taking my time separating this too, and I'm just making sure there's enough hair in the back to cover where the different portions of this wig are. After I have that separated pretty well, I'm using my hand to run through it more, using the comb to brush up along with also brush down. Then I'm taking a clear elastic again, and I'm making a ponytail with this. When you're using these clear elastics, make sure to have a bunch of them on a finger. It's just easier rather than trying to go back and forth. So you can see from the back here, I'm doing the same exact thing, separating the hairs, combing up, combing down, and trying to keep it as clean as possible, so just really no flyaway hairs or as little as possible. I am also using the UnBrush on that side just to get some of the hairs in place and make sure there's no little flyaways. Now that that ponytail is in place, I'm going back to the front, taking the pin out that I had, taking these elastics out, and then I'm going to have the front 2 bangs ready to work with. I'm using some of this leave-in, it's kind of like a gel-like conditioner, brushing it through the hairs with my fingers. This is going to get things to stay in place, and then I'll be able to further work with it at a later point. I'm also using a very, very small amount on the ponytails too, just to keep some of the fibers down. Mira's ponytails are slightly elevated, so I'm using a black hair tie that's going to give it just a bit more of push from the actual wig, and I'm going to be wrapping some of the hair around it. The easiest way to do this is wrap 1 to 2 times, take some hairspray. I always use Got2b just because it keeps things in place. Wrapping again, spraying it with more Got2b, holding it in place of course too. And after it's been sprayed the second time, I'm setting it in with this heat from the steamer that I have. You can also use some bobby pins to keep it in place too. So as soon as you get all the way to the bottom there, spray it one more time, use some heat, set it, let it dry, and you can use bobby pins to keep that all in place. Here is what the wig looks like. To keep things really, really in place, spray it with some hairspray. Again, Got2b is typically what I always do end up using. It just freezes hair in place. That's the best way to put it. But now I'm going to put this on. The way that I typically put on wigs is I put on one of these knitted bald caps. It just holds the hair in place. It's kind of what like lunch ladies would wear on their head. Then I cover it with a bald cap. So one of these fabric-y bald caps, it's kind of like a stocking. Then I'm good to put the wig on, and you can see what I did is I lined up the front with the front of my forehead and then slid the back. To keep the wig in place, I'm just using some hairspray. Bobby pins will hold it in place. I typically will sometimes use Pros-Aid around the edges of a lace front wig as well, just to really keep it in place. But I did my makeup, and there is what the wig looks like. Thanks for watching. All right, bye!